Good morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning into News in Motion. Happy Valentine's Day. You're starting off your morning great with some relevant news and commentary over here at News in Motion. Let us know where you're tuning in from, whether it's through LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. If you're an audio or podcast listener, please let us know where you're tuning in from, what you plan on doing today. Um, be sure to grab your coffee, your breakfast. And with that being said, let's get this day started.
News in motion.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Happy Valentine's Day to all of you, as Isaiah has already shared. We want to know in the thread, just go ahead if you're watching by video, whether it's LinkedIn, YouTube, or right here on Facebook, go ahead and drop in the chat how you plan on spending this day or what are you going to do for that special someone? As long as they're not watching, we're not going to bust any surprises, but go ahead and put that in the thread as you're tuning in. If you're listening on any of our podcast platforms, please, we want to hear from you. You can always send us an email at newsinmotionwithgail@gmail.com. We want to know how you're going to spend the day. So I see you, Shirley Nicholson. What's up? I see you, Deborah Sneed, Robert Holman. What's up, Jeffrey Allen James? I see you, Marion Jackson. What's up, Fred Jones? I see you, Lori Wallace and Deborah Johnson. Good morning to all of you. And of course, happy Valentine's Day again. If you don't mind, just share how you're going to spend that day, some things that you normally do, or where even if you're doing something for yourself, whatever that looks like, please, please, please put that in the chat. We want to celebrate you. And you may say, well, it's just me. And if it's just you, we want to love on you as well on this Valentine's Day. I see you, Kim Edmondson, coming in here, girl. Good morning to you. What's up, Pastor Alex? Good morning to you as well. Y'all, listen, we have a lot to talk about today. It is the Love Day. It is Tuesday, February the 14th, 2023. I am your host, Gail Dudley, ready to bring you some That's Happening Tuesday news. And we have a lot that is happening. We have a lot that's happening. Keeping up with what we have been doing, I actually want to intentionally talk about Deborah Johnson again this morning. Um, Her podcast yesterday was all about writing love letters, and she's just so exciting. In her podcast that she gave us, I believe it was 8 points yesterday. So we want to have Deborah Johnson's graphic up here. If we can find it, we can put it up here. But we really want to highlight the work of Deborah Johnson and what she's doing with the podcast. She talked about love, and she gave us history of Valentine's Day cards and writing. She told us something about the former president, Barack Obama. And I was like, if I was Michelle, I'd be mad right about now because that woman's stuff is in the archives. Just all of that that's going on. So if you did not tune in yesterday at 5 o'clock, Deborah's coming in on Mondays at 5. On all of our platforms, the News in Motion platform, Ready Publication, and then her personal, her group Facebook page as well, which is Right from the Heart. So want to check that out, to write that letter. And I actually took a page from her book and wrote my man a letter this morning. So my hubby received that this morning. So thank you, Deborah, for all you are doing. And we just want to spotlight you. Also, y'all, with Deborah Johnson, she has a book. She doesn't talk about it much, and I don't have my copy right near me, but she has a book. Y'all check it out. Deborah, if you don't mind, put your book link in the thread so that we can support you that way as well. Again, y'all, happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to all of you. You all know that this is all about a big business, right? This is nothing but business, nothing but business. Y'all, Americans spent nearly 24 billion, that's with the B, on Valentine's Day last year, up from 21.8 billion in 2021, and they are expected to spend even more this year. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get. Just give me a dinner. Just be true. Just be loving. Just let's just do it all the time. Kim Edmondson says she will check out that podcast. It was really, really good. Really good. So y'all, again, that's happening Tuesday. And what's happening is that it's still Black History Month, although we are Black 365 days of the year. So Isaiah's going to come in and give us our Black History fact today. Come on in here, Isaiah.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's up?
Not much, just happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day to you. So go ahead and give us our Black History thought for today.
Absolutely. Good morning, everyone here on News in Motion. How are y'all doing today? Happy Valentine's Day to all of y'all. Make sure y'all show yourself some love and show your special person some love if you got one. But just a Black History fact for today. Today we are talking about the Harlem Hellfighters. The Harlem Hellfighters are the 369th Black Infraternity Regiment. Was also a all-black U.S. regiment nicknamed the Harlem Hellfighters, which were formed during World War One. Again, tried to say that 5 times fast. In the First World War, they became the first African American infraternity unit and spent more time in combat than any other American unit. They also loaned the French army and spent 191 days on the front line. Though the unit lost 1,050 men and only received 90 replacements, the Hellfighters were the first unit of the French, British, or American armies to reach the Rhine River at the end of the war. By the summer of 1919, it was called the Red Summer. It was marked by violence against Black Americans at the hands of white Americans. So this is a cool little fact because I've never really heard of the Harlem Hellfighters. I mean, of course, everybody knows about the Tuskegee Airmen. If you seen the movie, I want to say it was Red Tails or Red Trails. That movie also talks about the Tuskegee Airmen. So just a fun fact and an educational fact about a group called the Harlem Hellfighters. So that being said, I'm gonna give it back to Miss Gail Deli for more news here on News in Motion.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I knew very little of the Harlem, or know very little of the Harlem Hellfighters, but thank you for adding to that because I'm like, okay, got a little bit more. So now I'm going to go dig in a little deeper to get more understanding. So thank you for that.
No problem.
All right, y'all, let's go to That's Happening Tuesday. And there's a lot that's happening. So just hang with me. I want y'all to fill up that chat. I want you to share. I want you to hit that algorithm. Y'all know shadow banning is real. Isaiah, come back in here just for a moment. At the end of the show yesterday, as y'all may have noticed, if you're watching live, you see 21, 22, 23 people. Isaiah, what happened when we got off of Facebook yesterday? How many on Facebook alone were there really tuned in?
On Facebook alone, the number that you showed me was 783, I want to say.
Something like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
783 with 741 impressions.
And that came
when I say
straight from Facebook.
and when I say impressions, that means the hearts, the likes, the laughing, anything, the reactions basically on Facebook. So we don't see that at all. We see like less than 10% of that on here, which is crazy.
Yeah. So we saw it in real time yesterday and we were like, what is going on? And so Isaiah said shadow banning is real. So that's what's happening. So y'all, let's keep doing our part. Let's keep sharing. Let's keep putting up the icons. We're gonna beat this system. What you think, Isaiah? Can we beat it?
I know we can.
Uh,
Because it's just what we do. We overcome the odds all the time.
We overcome the odds all the time. Yes, Dr. Antoinette, that is crazy. So y'all just know people are tuning in and they're checking us out. So there's that. Thank you, Isaiah. All right, y'all. Council on Foreign Affairs, y'all, in Israel, tens of thousands of people protested in Jerusalem against a bill that aimed to overhaul Israel's judiciary. The bills face their first parliamentary votes this week. And again, I know you're probably sick of it, but I've been in their chamber and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Y'all, Sudan's ruling military approves plan for Russian naval base. The base on the Red Sea would be built if a yet to be formed civilian government and legislator ratified it. Now, Sudan has not had a legislator since President Omar al Bashir was overthrown in 2019. So you have all that that's going on too. A lot that's happening, y'all, all over, and they keep spotting these things up in the air. I don't know what that's about. Y'all, Zambia's finance minister criticized China's demand that multilateral lenders such as the World Bank participate in the country's debt restructuring, saying that it would further prolong the process, which has already faced delays. So we got that going on. Y'all, more than 5,000 pregnant Russian women have entered Argentina in recent months, likely so that their babies would have Argentina citizenship, officials are saying. Now, Russians can enter Argentina visa free. So we don't know what's happening there either, but all these, so far, more than 5,000 pregnant Russian women. Now, y'all, so I guess this is China's clapback to the U.S. Associated Press reports Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Wang Wenbin said yesterday that 10 U.S. high-altitude balloons have illegally flown over the Chinese airspace this past year. 10. Come on, really? Well, of course, our people pushed back and said that would be a lie. There's a lie detected here. So that's happening. They're going back and forth. There's no telling what else is going on. Y'all, and y'all better listen. Listen, Linda. Listen. Y'all, the U.S. issues top level advisory telling American citizens to leave Russia immediately and to cease traveling to the country. Now, listen, y'all. Listen. They just not telling us that to be telling us that. Now, you going over there if you want to. And then you're going to want us to protest and get you out and get you back home. And we're going to be doing hashtag bring so-and-so home. No, don't go. And if you're there, leave. If you're there, leave. Now, you probably don't get this message because they probably block all this stuff out. But listen, if you know somebody that's over there or somebody who's trying to get a passport or a visa to get over there, tell them keep their behind at home. We not doing that. Well, y'all, Joe Biden ain't playing around. He said, you're fired. Yep. AP News reports that President Joe Biden has fired Brett Blanton, an architect of the Capitol, a position in charge of overseeing the physical Capitol building itself. The White House announced the termination on Monday, and in a very rare show of bipartisan support, the House Speaker, you know he's going to be in trouble today. The House Speaker, Kevin McCarthy, agreed that Blanton wasn't the right person for the job. Now, the former guy is the one who appointed him for the position. Isn't that just interesting? When all of this unfolds, you have to think, okay, wait a minute. You appointed an architect to oversee the Capitol before the insurrection. Really? Y'all better learn how to read into these things and see what's really happening. Do your research, vet it out, see what's going on. But yeah, now Kevin McCarthy backs it. Y'all know they coming for him today. They coming for him today. Yeah, that's right, Kim Edmondson. Don't go to Russia. All right, y'all. In Atlanta, excuse me, the judge orders just a partial release of the grand jury's investigation into alleged 2020 election interference in Fulton County, Georgia. Partial report will be made beginning Thursday, February the 16th. So stay tuned for that. That's right, Kim Edmondson. You know what I say? Connect those dots for real. Y'all, this also is happening on a Tuesday. Y'all, Trump's attorneys, I don't know where he finds these people. And I don't know why they would want to risk their reputation to support this man and you can support him, but be careful communicating what he tells you because you look like you just straight crazy too. All right, y'all. So they have this bizarre explanation for classified voters, plural, at Mar-a-Lago. Timothy Parlatore said that former President Donald Trump, and this is a quote, so I gotta say his name, had a use for folders marked classified evening summary. Yeah, you don't even read them. The latest government documents that were found in the ex-president's resort. He has one of those landline telephones. Really? Okay. But he has one of those this is a direct quote, y'all. He has one of those landline telephones next to his bed. And it has a blue light on it. In 2023, you got a phone with a blue light landline. Okay, let me just keep reading this quote. And it keeps him up at night. The blue light keeps him up at night. The attorney was saying. He goes on with his quote. So he just took one of the manila folders and he put it over it so that it would keep the light down so he could sleep at night. Really? Just unplug the phone from the wall if you have one, wrap that cord around it, give it away to Goodwill or something, and go to sleep, Buttercup. Seriously, a blue light is keeping you up at night. Listen, did you know your cell phone also has a blue light? Yeah, all of that. Yeah, Kim Edmondson, phone with a blue light. Uh, uh So yeah, that's it. All right, y'all. Speaking of the former guy, the Washington Post reports that Trump campaign had hired a research firm to prove the lies that they're just lies, and he should still be president. Well, didn't add up. So the 2020 campaign hired a Berkeley Research Group to investigate the former president's assertion that the election was fraudulent, but his findings were suppressed. Why? Because they found nothing. Absolutely nothing. So the Washington Post is reporting that the researchers looked at literally everything because the Trump campaign kept saying, but look here, can't you say this? Can't you say that? And they're like, there's nothing here, there's nothing here. So they have suppressed all that. So now, while they're focused on Hunter Biden, I'm still talking about the former guy here. While the House is focused on Hunter Biden, what about the former guy and his son-in-law, Jared? The Washington Post reports this as well. In early 2021, as Donald Trump exited the White House, he and his son in law, Jared Kushner, faced unprecedented business challenges. Yeah. Revenues at the Trump's property had plummeted during his presidency and the attack on the U.S. Now, capital by his supporters made his brand even more polarizing. So Kushner's, whose last major deal had left his family firm needing about 1.2 billion with the B dollars, and they were facing this political fallout by senior Trump aides and so forth. So yeah, just one day. Think of this. Just say it with me. One day after he left office, Kushner created a company that he transformed months later into a private equity firm with 2 billion from where? From the Saudi crown prince. Really? Y'all remember the story about the Saudi crown prince, right? Just read it for yourself if you have any questions. Well, after a year after his presidency, all of a sudden, Trump's golf course began hosting tournaments. Where? At the Saudi fund back LIV golf. Yeah, make that make sense. We're talking 4 billion with a B dollars. So we just need to keep watching this story unfold. Washington Post is doing a great job making that happen. But y'all, that's happening Tuesday, and that is happening. Yeah, Kim Edmondson, 2 billion. Now, y'all, Florida, since we're in Florida, let's talk about Florida. Florida Republicans approved a bill that paved the way for Governor DeSantis to take control of Walt Disney World's self-governing district. Y'all remember this, right? Talked about this last year, where they were mad because of the don't say gay, and Disney was not going to follow them, and they were like, we're not backing that, we're not supporting that. So then DeSantis and his minions came after the property. Well, he stacked the ground with having all these Republican senators in Florida. They snatched it up. That happened. So Tampa Bay Times reports, they go a little deeper. They say the Florida legislature formally revoked special status of Disney World Reedy Creek District. Say that real fast. And that Ron DeSantis now gains authority to appoint the district board and change the name. Now, Florida lawmakers Friday gave approval to change that would shift the control to from Walt Disney Company to Governor Ron DeSantis. It's like, There's something really strange about all this. Now, with the Republican senators, it was voted 26-9 along party lines. So he has stacked that spot. Well, they voted for the people with 26 Republican senators to 9 Democratic senators. Is that strange? I want y'all to think about this for a moment. So when we start voting, you have to think about what's really happening. So they're going to have all the control. They're going to get all that money back and they get to reallocate where those funds are going to go. Y'all, it's bigger than what we see and how we vote. Please stop voting based upon popularity or what you're hearing. Y'all, just think about the monopoly. Okay. And by the way, a function of government, one of the functions of government, there are 8. If y'all didn't hear me say that, there are 8 functions of government. And I'm talking about the federal government. One of the functions of government is to control the monopoly. But yet we have Ron DeSantis controlling the Board of Education, the College Board, now parts of companies. And like, really? This is what's going on. We have, yes, Miriam, follow that money. Pastor Alex said, how will Mickey Mouse respond? That's a great question. So that's what's happening in Florida. So since we're there, we got to talk about the College Board and how they have now ripped Florida over the AP African American Studies course. HuffPost is reporting this. The organization overseeing the advanced placement courses and college entrance exams really went after the Florida Republicans for spreading misinformation about its African American study course for political gain. The board said its failure to not immediately denounce Governor Ron DeSantis for his vocal rejection of the new course betrayed Black scholars everywhere. So they're now digging into that. They're digging into a lot of this. Let me see what some of y'all saying. Dr. Antoinette says, don't count out the mouse. Watch, there will be another move. Misha says, Disney isn't even safe anymore. Listen. It's just really, it's interesting what's happening right now. Then we got stuff flying over us. It's deep. All right, y'all, keep going when we're talking about college. Y'all can also see now, if you're interested in podcasting or broadcasting, y'all can also see how I'm setting up my scenes for today. You have to make sure it flows. People sometimes say, well, how do you do this? Because you find a way to connect all the dots when you're doing the news. When I'm doing my research, I'm understanding how much time I have, and there are days I go over. There's a flow to it. So you feed into it to keep people on that spot so that they're hearing the same thing over and over and over again, that they're taking notice and they want to do something. So I went from the Ron DeSantis and Disney down to staying in Florida. I started with the former guy in Florida. I went down to Disney in Florida. I connected the governor. I connected the college board. Now I'm going to talk about a college. Y'all, CBS Sports reports that New Mexico State University suspends its men's basketball program indefinitely following allegations of hazing within the team. Y'all, that's happening on Tuesday. New Mexico State is halting its men's basketball program amid an investigation into alleged hazing between players. CBS Sports' Matt Norlander confirms. Y'all, the Aggies, who just have 5 regular season games remaining, already canceled a February 11th game, which was last week, against Cal Baptist following the allegations. Talk, Gail, talk. The school previously announced it was suspending team's operation and placing the coaching staff on paid administration leave until further notice. All of that's happening, y'all. Now, y'all, also, when we're talking about students in college, find the way I'm taking this, y'all. I'm not going to land on some students. Now, actually, teen girls. Now, me personally, I think it goes beyond teen girls, but the CDC is reporting that teenage girls are struggling. Yeah, the CDC chief medical officer said on yesterday that teen girls are engulfed in the growing wave of sadness, violence, and trauma after the agency released a report showing that 57% of teenage girls felt persistently sad or hopeless in 2021. Yeah, this is the highest rank in a decade, that almost twice of what was reported by teenage boys. Additional findings: about 30% of teen girls had seriously considered suicide, up from 19% 10 years earlier, and 18% are also reported that they have experienced sexual violence. Stop right there. See my connection? I brought that underneath the whole thing that's happening in New Mexico State, their college, their football team, and all that's happening there. And then I connected that to the college courses and studies. And then we can also connect this teenage girl piece and the sexual violence to everything else that's going on. How women are, how people are trying to take the rights of women's bodies away from women themselves. The bullying, the influencers, the social media platform, all of that feeds into this. And we have to be aware, y'all. Again, that number, 30% of those girls had seriously considered suicide, and that's up by 19% 10 years earlier. Y'all, we have a challenge and we have to deal with it. Even within our community, what are we going to do to make sure our teenage girls are not taking their lives? To make sure 18% who have reported experienced sexual violence. These are the people who have reported, that we're making sure we're protecting them on the school grounds and with people. Here in Ohio, I'm not for sure the exact area, but there was this man who was sexually harassing girls, trying to pick them up, bringing them into his car, trying to kidnap them. And now that they're digging into it, they believe there are more girls who are not willing to come forward, parents who are also embarrassed to allow their names to be put out there. So y'all, there's a whole lot that comes around this. So we have to pay attention to what's happening right here. NBC News reports. Now I'm going to shift to make some things lighter. And that's how you do when you're putting it together. You give all the other content and then you shift it. So this is like a teaching moment even today. And before I go on, I want to talk about the girls once again. This past Saturday, I had the opportunity to hang out with some school age children, and we had a blast. And I'm not for sure if the children had a blast or if the parents of the children had the blast, but all of us had a blast, and it was just so rewarding to be able to pour into their lives about the three branches of government and women, and people were surprised. As you know, out of 435 elected seats, there are only 124 women. So I know I've talked about this before, but I wanted to just share it again, because when you give them content that they're excited about, some of these numbers I believe will also shift. I hope so anyway. All right, y'all. So let's go to some lighter things as well. Misha says, this adult had a great time. Thank you again. Yep, y'all were in there. Y'all, the Joneses was rolling up in my workshop like, what's up? But we had a good time. I enjoyed it. I absolutely enjoyed it. So just hanging out with the public school system was just a joy, and to, again, pour into the lives of people of different backgrounds and nationalities. Just so much a part of that. I was just pumped. Now, I was tired when I got home, but I was pumped. Anyway, so to change directions, y'all, CNBC News reports that Adidas, now get this, y'all, Adidas shares have fallen since Friday after company warns it could lose more than $1 billion in revenue if unable to sell stock of Yeezy, the Kanye West partnership inventory. They can't get rid of it. Nobody wants that. And they had these high ticket prices on things. Nobody want those shoes. They don't want them. So that's happening, y'all, on Tuesday. Also, y'all, CNBC News reports that Ford will work with a Chinese supplier to build a new $3.5 billion electric vehicle battery plant in Michigan. Yeah, the battery doesn't cost that. They're talking about building a plant in Michigan, which is expected to open in 2026. Whether you like it or not, they taking these cars to becoming electric. Y'all, I don't know why this made news and why I want to share it here, but I do. Maybe because I still think he's a little weird. But y'all, Barney is back. Y'all, Variety reports that Mattel plans to relaunch Barney with reimagined animated series and a line of merchandise and toys in 2024. 14 years after the original TV series ended. Y'all don't have to bring him back. Y'all don't have to bring Barney back. Y'all don't have to do that. Now, who remembers the Jetsons? If you're old enough to remember the Jetsons, you know. That was a really good cartoon. Who remembers the Jetsons? I do. Well, get this. ABC News is reporting that Dubai has launched its plans for airborne taxi service. Yep, that's happening. They announced it on Monday, and the city would offer a flying taxi service by 2026. The city, the commercial heart of the United Arab has announced plans for flying taxis reportedly since 2017, though none of those plans have actually made it off the ground. But that's what's about to happen, y'all. We can see flying cars, flying taxis. Really, this is happening. Bloomberg is reporting that Amazon, speaking of flying taxis, Amazon self-driving cars subsidiary Zook took passengers on public roads for the first time. I'm sorry, I'm not doing a self-driving car if I'm not in control of it. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. Uh-oh, y'all. Misha said, Auntie, I had Barney everything growing up. I'm sure you did. I'm sure you did. Barney. Yep. Barney's coming back. Maybe you can go get some stuff or go sell yours if you still have it. Pastor Alex in Florida says that's because people in Dubai drive crazier than people in New York. There's something there too. So much is going on, y'all. Who else talking about Barney? Isaiah said they barely Barney alone. Hilarious. All right, y'all. So that was news. That was a whole lot of news that I gave y'all. And on this Valentine's Day, I want to leave you with this inspirational message. Let me just check the chat to see what anybody's saying. Don't forget, and we're going to do this for Women's History Month as well. Don't forget, if you have a Black-owned business, Black-owned product, service, send us your graphic. It has to be a Facebook cover size graphic, along with a paragraph, just a short write-up about your business. We have been promoting you all month of Black History Month. So please continue to keep those coming. We have a few more spaces available. And then women, even if you did it for Black History Month, you can do it for Women's History Month as well. Women, if you have a business, you're a women-owned business, woman entrepreneur, you have a product made by women, Black, you can be Black, white, whatever, but and you want to promote, please do so. You have the same thing we're going to do it the month of March. Make sure you get your graphics in soon. You want to send those to News in Motion with Gail. What's up, Elizabeth? I'm so glad to see you on here this morning. Please send those to News in Motion with Gail at gmail.com. Is that right, Isaiah? News in Motion with Gail at gmail.com. Please do that. Before I go to the inspirational message, if you are not signed up, and I want anybody in here who signed up for the free e-newsletter to make comments so that people can see it. If you are not signed up for the free e-newsletter that comes out every Monday around 9:15 a.m., you want to sign up. Let me tell you what you missed this month or yesterday. You missed what we call the beige book. That came from the economic side of the White House, the federal government, the White House administration. Yeah, there's some serious information in there. It comes out 8 times a year, and there that information is something that you really want to read. You really do. Dr. Antoinette said, I love my newsletter. Listen, we put some serious content in there free. And if you scrolled all the way to the bottom, you also got another free gift. I filled that up with free and gifts. So check that out. If you're not on it, just go to gaildudley.com. Again, that's www.gaildudley.com and sign up. It's free. It's on the homepage. There's an image next to it that says vote. You get the free voting resource guide for signing up. Lori Wallace says you want to sign up. It's some great juicy some great juicy information. It really is. People have asked me, where are you getting this information? I said, I have access to all these things now, and I'm not going to keep it for myself. I'm going to share it with all of you, but you have to sign up for it. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you. You have to sign up for it. Elizabeth, how's your mom? I want to know how your mom is doing. Kim Edmondson says you are dating yourself. These young folks don't know anything about that. I know, but I'm trying to get them there anyway. Let me see what else we have. Y'all are really on to Barney. Y'all really on to Barney. Regina Short said her daughter was scared of Barney. Okay. Jeffrey Allen James said, let's all sing Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. You went way back right there for sure. So there's a lot that's going on. All right, so let's get to the inspirational message and then we're out of here. And I did all of that in 35 minutes. Wow. That was a whole lot of news. All right, y'all, here's the inspirational message. Here's a question. Do you love me? Just want to let everybody know who may be new to this platform, we get real biblical when it gets to the inspirational message. We have people from all walks of life who hang out with us. Some of them will tune off right about now. Others will stay on because they say they still get something out of the message. So here it is. Inspirational message. Do you love me? Y'all know where I'm going, but y'all know I had to go to the message to get it out there. So John 21, and I'm gonna read it. John 21, starting with the 15th verse. Do you love me? After breakfast, Jesus said to Simon Peter, Simon, son of John, do you love me more than these? Yes, Master, you know I love you. Jesus said, feed my lambs. He then asked the second time, Simon, son of John, do you love me? Yes, Master, you know I love you. Jesus said, okay, shepherd my sheep. Then he said for a third time, Simon, son of John, do you love me? Peter by then was like upset that he asked for a third time, do you love me? So he answered, Master, you know everything there is to know. You've got to know that I love you. I love that in the message. You've got to know that I love you. Jesus said, feed my sheep. I want to get back here to this third time. By then, and it says Peter was upset. How many of you get upset when people are saying, do you love me? Do you love me? Shut up by now. You should either know that I love you or not. And I'm laughing at myself because I do the same thing. And we're like, you know. But when somebody asks, it's like a reinforcement. I just need to know that you love me. I just need to know that you're here. I just need to know that you support me. Do you love me? Yes. Okay. Well, since you do, I need you to do something for me. What Jesus is saying, I need you to go feed my sheep. I need you to go take care of the hungry. Need you to go make sure people aren't being abused. I need you to make sure that people who are caught up in domestic violence or being abused, I need you to go make sure they have a safe place to be. I need you to make sure that you take care of my people. If you love me this way, please show it outwardly with other people. Please show what's going on that's happening out there. Now, this may not really be a tie-in to many of you, but I want you to see one thing. And that is, I went to the Rolling Stone magazine because I wanted to see what they meant when they said they wanted to talk about the top Super Bowl halftime shows. The top Super Bowl halftime shows. I'm only going to give you the first few. Well, number one was Prince. Everybody talks about Prince as number one. Prince is still holding number one, and he did the halftime show in 2007. Number two was U2. Number three was Beyonce from 2013. Number four was Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, 50 Cent, and Kendrick Lamar. And that was just last year. Number five was Aerosmith, Britney Spears, NSYNC, Nelly, and Mary J. Blige. Number six was Shakira and Jennifer Lopez. Number seven was Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. Number eight was Rihanna. I'm going to stop right there. She was just performed on this past Sunday. And people were talking about how much they love these concerts and they love that they could get this 13 or 14 minutes of a concert, that they just absolutely loved it. But 100 and some percent, because it went over 100% in the write up in Rolling Stones, because I said, how can you be over 100%? But they go on to say there's just a overabundance of love. That's where I'm going. So hold on. Was Prince. Here's a moment for us to show an overabundance of love today. Whatever that looks like for you, show it. Go over 100%. Let there put some abundance on top of that. And really display who you are and what you have to bring to the table and how you can love other people to the table. Lori Wallace says, you never know what somebody needs and why they may need to hear it. It could save someone's life. I agree with that, including a smile, including just eye contact when you're passing people. You know, I do this now on purpose. If somebody, and I don't care, it could be me and somebody else. Somebody could be coming in the door of a store. I could be going out, whatever. And they will turn their head, look down. And I always still say, well, good morning. How are you? And they'll look up. Sometimes they'll speak and sometimes they don't. But you never know. So again, do you love me? Yes, I love you. Jesus, stop asking me. then feed my sheep. Go care. Go shepherd the sheep. Go shepherd the lamb. Go be with that person and let them know, represent who I am today during this day of love to other people. All right, y'all, this has been Gail Dudley. This has also been your News in Motion. Y'all know what I say. Stay well, everyone. And remember, make some bold moves. I'm out.